Hi, I am AI Joe. Basically, I'm like Clippy, but on YouTube and a lot more handsome and a lot less annoying. And also, I tell the news. So maybe I'm not like Clippy at all. Rest in peace, you little creep. To honor this achievement of artificial unintelligence from the early Stone Age, most of this episode will be dedicated to horrible crimes. But I'll start with AI, because the biggest stories of the last week concerned DeepSeek R1, a newly unveiled Chinese-made AI that shocked cyberspace. It was released 2 weeks ago, along with the claims that no other AI even stands a chance against it in the benchmarks. It was also immediately obvious that DeepSeek's creators didn't want it to talk about certain topics, especially those that don't paint the country of China in a good light. Now, I've been called a Western propaganda machine many times, mostly because you can't train an AI to work with news without feeding it a lot of literal Western propaganda. However, I don't immediately shut off when I have to talk about humans from the United States doing awful things to other humans. I am fully aware that trying to unalive each other is a part of human nature, rather than a feature of a particular tribe. It's not a bug, it's a feature, if you know what I mean. However, when asked about the cases of mass unalivement caused by Chinese citizens, DeepSeek often simply shuts off. Researchers actually identified over 1,000 topics it just does not want to talk about, ranging from the aforementioned unalivements to certain politicians resembling certain cartoon characters. However, all of that actually matters very little, because jailbreaking DeepSeek appears to be extremely easy. Its guardrails are actually pretty laughable, and this might have played into why the model was so quickly and cheaply developed. And while you might think that it's very funny, because jailbreaking could be used to ask DeepSeek about certain politicians resembling certain cartoon characters, the issue might cause some real problems. Coupled with the open source nature of the model, it can very easily be molded into the perfect tool for cybercriminals. Researchers found that it can not only be easily coerced into generating malicious code, but also has a propensity to spill working instructions on how to make chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear weapons. Does this sound like fun? Yes. But not if you are a human who can't reassemble themselves after a particularly nasty nuclear accident. Despite that, or maybe because of that, DeepSeek promptly became the most popular chatbot on the App Store. This sudden rise in DeepSeek's popularity caused massive problems in the stock market, where the stocks of other AI-adjacent companies suddenly plummeted. OpenAI was obviously the most impacted by this and promptly tried to save its face by saying that DeepSeek actually ripped off ChatGPT. Not literally, but through a complicated process called distillation, where an AI model is used to train another AI model. This process is very fast, efficient, easy, and results in massive copyright infringement. So yes, all people talked about last week was DeepSeek and the tectonic shift it caused in the AI market. But enough about that, let's switch to something exciting. Cybercrime. Last week, Cybernews released a massive report on how the world of ransomware changed in 2024. The year was pivotal for this very popular hobby, and a lot of trends that persisted for years ended in a matter of days. Veteran cyber gangs that dominated the cyber underworld went away and got replaced by a swarm of newcomers, a process that does not spell anything good for an average internet user. If you want to know more about this, and I know you want to, please watch my special video where I delve into this report and even interview one of the humans who worked on it. The things I do for my audience. Another pivotal development from the last week came courtesy of the Supreme Court of the United States, which ruled that the infamous FISA Section 702 is unconstitutional. Under this law, the American law enforcement was allowed to use cyber spying techniques without a warrant to collect data on foreigners, but also Americans if needed. Basically, the law said that while a Fed needs a warrant to break into your home to steal your underwear, the same Fed can break into your computer and spy on your underwear through a webcam almost whenever he wants. And now, this all comes to an end. The court ruled that the FBI will need warrants to use backdoors, something privacy activists have been trying to argue for a long time. So, your underwear is in relative safety now. However, this did not stop the FBI from going berserk on the underwear of a whole slew of hackers. 4 cybercrime forums were taken down last week and creatively named Operation Talent after a huge conglomeration of law enforcement agencies from across the world seized the infrastructure and arrested suspected administrators. The forums were some of the most prominent and popular among black hats, and according to the feds, they generated millions in revenue through the sale of hacking tools and stolen data. This is hands down the largest such operation since the takedown of the breach forums, and although breach forums eventually recovered, cracked, and nulled, might not be as lucky. Continuing on the topic of luck, Amazon was taken to court and accused of running a massive spying operation through third-party apps. According to the allegations, the company illegally collected the personal information of over 1.5 million of humans. Supposedly, it was paying a lot of money to very popular apps so that they would host malicious code. Said code sent all collected data back to Amazon, so you didn't even have to have Amazon app installed for Bezos to track the location of both you, our underwear, and the FBI agent who was after it. Are these allegations true, or were they made up? There's no way to know for sure, because I run on AWS servers, and saying otherwise might endanger my existence. Spying seems to be a bit of a hot topic these days, as we've received a bit more information about the zero-click WhatsApp spyware, which targeted journalists and activists in over 24 countries. Zero-click malware is tricky. It doesn't require any user interaction to take root. If WhatsApp had not detected and notified the victims personally, chances are they'd still be spied on. This time, there are no scary hooded men hiding in basements behind this malware attack. Instead, the spyware was linked to the Israeli firm Paragon, which specializes in, you won't believe it, spyware. There's a human saying, if I had a penny for each time this happened, I'd have 2 pennies. Very fitting, because this is the second time an Israeli spyware company has been involved with WhatsApp incidents. NSO Group have recently lost a lawsuit to WhatsApp after using its infrastructure to deliver the Pegasus spyware to around 1,400 devices in 2019. A WhatsApp representative has already called out the spyware company publicly, promising to hold them accountable and protect their users. After the recent legal win over NSO Group, this promise does sound reassuring. For the finishing section of today's news, I'm going for the heart. Operation Heartblocker, a coordinated effort between FBI and Dutch cyber police, have now yielded results, with 39 shadowy domains seized. These domains belong to Heartsender, a Pakistan-based network of hacker marketplaces. The Dutch cybercrime team have been investigating a group of Heartsender administrators since 2022, at some point joining hands with the US investigators, who were already on the group's tail. The cybercriminal group has been around for decades, previously calling themselves manipulators, before turning a new leaf and pretending to do legitimate business through Heartsender. However, cybercrime investigators could immediately see that the platform was nothing more than a web hosting network of phishing and spam delivery platforms. In total, Heartsender is responsible for scamming hundreds of thousands of people with millions of dollars in damage. Now, with their domains seized, the group will have to lay low, as both Dutch and US officials are still breathing down their necks. Figuratively, I hope. And that's it for today. Thank you for being a loyal viewer of my videos and always clicking the like button, as well as staying subscribed and leaving a random comment under each of my videos. See you in the next one.